What is up, star seeds? I am Sydalexandria, and today we have another witchy divination tool video because it's October. So I'm going to be talking about how to use a regular old deck of playing cards as tarot cards. So let's get into it. As you probably know if you're watching this video, lots of psychic mediums have a deck of tarot cards. It might be the classic Rider-Waite. It might be something else. If you recognize this deck of mine, then I love you because I haven't used it in a while. And this is my first tarot deck. So, playing cards have 4 suits, right? Clubs, spades, hearts, and diamonds. And tarot cards have 4 suits as well. The 4 suits in tarot, pentacles, cups, wands, and swords all correspond to the 4 elements: earth, air, fire, and water. So we are going to be talking about how suits in playing card decks correlate to suits in tarot decks. Tarot decks usually have 78 cards in them, okay? Cards of each of the 4 suits, and then the major arcana as well. The cards that are all a suit are known as the minor arcana, and then the cards that don't have a suit, cards like the Hermit, or the Sun, or the Moon, or the Fool, are cards in the major arcana. Cards like the Ace of Cups, or the 2 of Wands, or the 3 of Swords, or the Knight of Pentacles are cards in the minor arcana. So now let's get into what playing card suits correlate to tarot card suits. This has always really come as just common sense to me, but it's come to my attention that there is some debate in the witchy community as to what suit correlates to what suit. In my opinion, clubs correlate to the element earth and the suit of pentacles. Cups correlate to the element of water and the suit of hearts. Diamonds correlate to the element of fire and the suit of wands. And spades correlate to the element of air and the suit of swords. This just makes sense to me because if you think about it, clubs kind of look like clovers. They're earthy. Earth is pentacles, bada bing, bada boom. For water, I mean, we know that cups and water correlate together. Water is about emotion and hearts are about emotion and romance, so it just kind of makes sense. And then obviously fire needs to be red, right? The other red suit in a playing card deck is diamonds. Diamonds just seem like, you know, fire, passion. Fire and wands, they're about, you know, action and passion. And then last but certainly not least, air, right? So spades. And I don't know, it just makes sense because spades kind of seems like a bit of the oddball, and air is kind of an oddball, you know, Aquarius, right? And air is about like intellect, and for some reason spades is kind of hard for people to remember, so you have to be wise and smart, like air, like swords. So that's how in my mind mentally I kind of correlated the suits to tarot suits. In case you guys didn't know, like on my Native American card deck, it has air instead of swords. It has water instead of cups, and it's just kind of common knowledge. Like, they're the same cards as these cards, okay? There's nothing. Here we have the 8 of Cups. Here we have the 8 of Water. They mean the same thing. They're just in different decks. And here it's a picture of cups. Here it's the word water and a picture of water, cups of water actually. But they mean the same thing as the 8 of Hearts right here. For some reason, it was super easy to flip all of these cards to the same one. But these all mean the same thing, and for some witches, if you will, psychics, if you will, tarot readers, if you will, those cards actually might have a bit of a different meaning if you pull it in a certain deck. Like if I get the 8 of Water, the 8 of Hearts, the 8 of Cups in this deck, because this is my oldest deck, I feel the most emotion when I pull it in this deck, and it seems the most negative in that deck for some reason. And this deck, the picture doesn't look as sad to me, so I don't correlate it with as much negative emotion. And it does matter, because if I feel drawn to that deck or that deck, I can kind of piece that emotion together. But if I'm in my car, I don't have a tarot deck in my car. I have a playing card deck in my car in case I want to play Crazy Eights, or in case I want to pull some cards and do some witchy divination tarot work. Sometimes, even I don't remember, because I don't use tarot cards as much as I used to, but I know my numerology. So it's going to be the most positive if I see the 8 of Cups in this deck, because it's the 8 of Hearts. I know, okay, Hearts is water, Hearts is cups, and 8 in numerology. 8 it's a lot of things actually in numerology, and 8 is usually a pretty good number. So in my mind, mentally, I can piece together the numerology and the element. I can do that for anything. Like if I get the Ace of Hearts, I know that's Ace is like a new beginning. 1 in numerology, and Ace, emotion, new, connection, new romance, new feelings popping up. If I get the Queen of Fire, the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Diamonds, I think, oh, this is a feminine presence about action, about passion, and you piece those together. If you don't know, like, the tarot card meanings, like, for instance, the 2 of Wands, the 2 of Fire is about decision making. The 3 of Wands, the 3 of Fire, is about a decision you have, but you're kind of already leaning towards one of the options. You might not know that if you don't know the tarot meanings. I actually have a video on the meanings of all of the cards in the major arcana, and a video on all of the meanings of the cards in the minor arcana. So if you want to get into tarot, definitely watch those 2 videos. They're both about an hour long, but it's worth it if you want to know card meanings, or you want to refresher and kind of go back and learn them really well. But if you don't know, that's okay. If you know numerology, then you can use playing cards as tarot cards. You just have to know what the numbers 1 through 9 represent in numerology, and know that kings and jacks are kind of masculine and queen is feminine, and that's all you really need to know. In jokers, I sometimes interpret as the Fool card in the major arcana, but the only difference is if you're using playing cards as tarot cards, playing cards don't have a major arcana, it's only the minor arcana. That's really the only difference. However, I like to interpret aces, kings, queens, and jacks as kind of more important than the numbers when I'm using tarot cards, when I'm using playing cards as tarot cards. And that's just kind of how I like to see it. You don't have to do that. It's all a minor arcana in here. As you can see, I have, like, right here, I have 3 playing card decks that I use as tarot decks. I have a few tarot decks. I have 1, 2, 3, like 6 or 7. And then I have mainly oracle cards, but I actually use flashcards. Like, these are some constellation flashcards that I use as oracle cards. So you can do that as well. If you don't have any decks at all, but you have a piece of paper, you can make your own tarot deck, which I actually mentioned in my last video on astro dice. So you can check that out. I have a whole playlist, like a whole witchy playlist that's about different divination tools and intuition and types of spirits and why October feels so witchy and a bunch of cool subjects like this. So if you're interested, definitely check out that playlist. I talk about pendulums and palmistry and saging and so many different cool things. So check that out. I also do readings. I do astrology reports, which are super in-depth. It's not just about your sun sign. It's not about all your planets. It's about different cultures, forms of astrology, as well as numerology, in-depth astrology, aspects, nakshatras, okay? Not even just decans and dewads, but a bunch of different divisional charts, galactic astrology, finding what you like, what race you were in your past, parallel, or future lives, because I'm into ETs, extraterrestrials, interdimensional beings, all of that good stuff. Check out the playlist on my channel. Hit me up if you would like an astrology report, an intuitive reading, mainly consisting of past life information, or a past life regression session, because I do qhht and bqh as well. So that is all. I know that was a lot, but thank you so much for watching. I love you guys. Peace out.